Hey, hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Kat's Message of the Day. If this is your first time here, welcome. It's wonderful to have you here with me today. Before I get into the channeled message, please note that this is a collective group message and it may not be for you, and that's okay. Simply come back and visit me tomorrow and see if tomorrow's message is more aligned with what you need to know for the day. Okay, let's get into it. I will get my glasses on. I want to share today is a beautiful message, and I hope that this message absolutely gives you a different perspective and assists you to move forward on your journey if you've been struggling of late with belief in self. So what part of self don't you believe in? So much of what causes us fear or takes us out from moving forward on our life's journey is lack of self-belief, self-worth, and self-love. Many of you may be working on a horizontal level, only using tools to manage the lack of self-thoughts. Meaning, when these things take us out and say we're not good enough, we need to be better, why do we deserve this? It's those that I'm speaking about. Many of you may be on your journey of really personal development and just implementing tools to really assist in shifting those thoughts. To deeply and internally, in your being, in every cell in your being, believe in self, it takes working vertically, going deep within. It takes visiting your younger self to find, acknowledge, validate, heal, and release any past emotional, hurtful, painful, or traumatic things that you endured when you were young. Are you judging what you went through when you were younger from your adult's self perspective? Tap into what happened and how it made you feel. Did you feel unloved, abandoned, rejected, unheard, invisible, that you didn't matter, and that you weren't good enough? If you're feeling any of those as an adult, then that could very well mean that you have not really reflected back to when you're a kid and gone back into that moment, whether it was when you were bullied or your parents may have said something to you or a friend may have said something to you or you didn't feel you fitted in. It could even be due to cultural differences. Go back then. I know I go back and there are moments and I used to cry. So what part of your younger self are you not validating as an adult, that you're dismissing it? For those of you who are parents, who have kids, or you may be an auntie and uncle, it doesn't matter, but you've got kids around you, you've been around friends' kids, and they've been upset. Someone's teased them at school. It doesn't matter, for whatever reason. And they've shared with you and they were crying and it really hurt them. As an adult, you looked and went, it's no big deal. But to the child, it's massive. And that's what I want to do for you. That is an example to really show and highlight that what part of you as an adult are just judging or dismissing is the better word, absolutely. Dismissing what happened to you as a kid as no big deal. But when you tap into, stop looking at the event of what happened and look at the emotion that it caused, that event caused you. Did you cry? That's the only way I can really express is we're missing the emotional component of it. We look at the event and go, oh, it was no big deal, so we dismiss it and go, that's not part that caused us any pain. Yeah, it is. Because what emotion did that event cause you. That's the bit you're missing. That's the bit that doesn't get healed. That's the bit that doesn't get validated. That's the bit that doesn't get released. I'm going to go further into this at the end of this, so those of you who just want the message and move on, I don't hold you up too long. So I will revisit this at the end, or I may even decide to do a full video on this separately. Okay, let's move on to the daily guidance book. And what message have the angels got for us today? Give your imagination free rein. Well, if you heal, it's amazing, and you gain belief in self, then absolutely your imagination will have free rein, because there'll be no limiting beliefs of self that you can't do something. So before I read this message, I'd love for you to just close your eyes, take a deep breath, just to recenter yourself so you can absorb all the words from this particular message. All right. The inner world of your imagination is like a clear, deep lake fed by rivers of your emotions, physical feelings, experiences, and thoughts. It's the meeting ground for your reactions to life. You may have heard derogatory references to the imagination that call it invalid or unreal. Yet it is your God connection headquarters, allowing you to wander far from your physical senses and explore other realms. Your imagination pieces together the seemingly impossible and illogical until it brings about new creations. Have no worries that your mental explorations could mislead you, for true imagination is born upon the wings of angels. It's pure and childlike in the very best sense. It's also untamed and unrestricted. Even when you try to retrain your creative self, it's constantly at work during dream time and moments of peaceful contemplation. Allow the world of your fantasies to run free and notice its ingenious creations. They're gifts from spirit that are conceived and incubated mentally and then born into material reality. When you unleash your imagination, you liberate yourself, and you're then able to live without limits and soar. Wow. Powerful. Thought for today. I give my imagination free rein. I courageously notice all of my creative visions, thoughts, and feelings, and I nurture them with love. I am completely supported by spirit in all ways. I'm going to go deeper into that message, and I hope I remember that. I want to keep moving along. Okay, card. Universal Love Deck. Dreams. So we've got give your imagination free rein, and in the actual book it said that it could come in dream form. Dreams. What I get from this card is many of you have had ideas that have come through in your dreams, but you've rejected them, or you've not acknowledged them. You've ignored them and said they're stupid. Nah, I can't do that. No way, that won't work. And there could be other obscene things that you've said to yourself. I'm going to say, go back and write those dreams down. Go back and write them, because you can achieve it. You just need to believe in self that you can do it. That's all it takes. And when I say that's all it takes, I'm not for 1 minute dismissing the work that's going to be needed to invest. You're going to need to invest in attaining those dreams. However, isn't the outcome worth it? So that's what I got from that card, absolutely following through from the page. For many of you that are watching this, ideas have come through in the form of dreams, or even through meditation, or even through just moments of quiet. I was sunbaking yesterday. I was out in the sun. I thought, no, I'm just going to get a little bit of burst of vitamin D. And all these ideas were coming. I was like, no, I'm just going to relax. No. So I got up, came inside, got a piece of paper and a pen, and I went back outside because I just wanted a burst of vitamin D, and I wrote them down because I know how I work. It comes through, and then sometimes it comes out, and I forget. So if you're getting ideas, and now I always carry a pen and paper, or those of you who are a little bit more advanced, use your phone. If that's your thing, I'm just better at writing because I feel it more cements it, and often more ideas flow through when I'm physically writing. But if that's not your thing, cool. Go to a phone, do that. But don't dismiss any thoughts that come through in the form of dreams, in thoughts, in meditation, because it's really part of your life's journey. So don't allow this to say it's stupid. All right, dreams. We have had this card a few times. So before I read this out, if you'd like to once again close your eyes and take a deep breath with me, just to recenter yourself so you can really absorb the words in this particular message. Waves of healing energy flow through you as you sleep, subconsciously restoring balance and healing unresolved emotional issues. An issue which most probably stems from a past life is being processed and healed in your dream state. You may not be aware of the issue that impacts negatively on your life. It manifests through unexplained negative feelings, self-doubt, and irrational fear. The good news is that there's nothing you need to do. Just be patient, allow the process without trying to make sense of it. Trust for all will soon be free of negativity that so often has sabotaged your progress in the past. A brighter, more confident you soon surfaces. Where it said past life, I'm going to shift that a little bit because I don't want any of you that go, I don't believe in past lives, to miss out on an opportunity of reflection. And I'm going to say, when I mentioned in the channeled message about childhood, so back in the past, right? You may want to go more to this, into this current life. Those of you, there may be past lives if that's your thing and that's where you're at, but I don't want anyone that is not into past lives or doesn't understand it to miss out on this opportunity to really reflect back on your past. And I'll go back to childhood. It's so important to heal and release any painful or all of those emotions. Do you remember? So that's the message in its entirety. So we've done the channeled message plus a page from the Angel Guidance book and the card. However, if you'd like to hang around a little bit longer, what I want to do is really delve into this message because it is a life-changing message. This is the work that I've done for self to rid all of my past trauma and pain. And when I say rid, throw it out. I didn't just work through it, or I didn't just deal with it. I threw that shit out. And that's why that stuff does not impact me anymore. I can speak about all what happened in my past and there's no emotion that comes up with it. Some people feel they hear me when I speak about my past and I've been sort of called cold and what, don't you have emotion? No, I don't have any emotion towards that because I've released all the trauma. Absolutely. I know that those things have happened to me. Absolutely. But the trauma attached to those events no longer emotionally impact me. I hope this makes sense. I want to say it again. Those past events, those traumatic past events, no longer emotionally impact me. I have not excused the person, but I've forgiven. I don't hold anything. There's really no thought to that or that person. And the reason for that is I chose not to allow that person that did what happened to me. I don't want to say what did to me, because I don't believe life happens to you. It happens for you, right? So what I experienced, the people involved in that, I have no real feeling towards them. I'm neutral. That's it. That's the word, neutral. Because while you hold on to the emotional attachment or hate that person or hate the situation, that's draining you. It's draining your energy and really, in essence, giving you a mirror image of negativity. And for some of you out there, that person still controls you. You may not want to hear that. But if thinking about the event or the trauma or what you endured, and it triggers this flood of emotion, that situation still controls you. Who the hell wants a situation or a person to control them? Nobody. We speak about, being in domestic violent relationships, or other people have hurt us. And for many of you, you may have gone, I've left that situation, I'm out of it, just as I did, only for it to still impact you. It impacted me for about 2 years. So much of what I endured consumed my thoughts, consumed. I hated him. There was such rage and hate in my emotional being. How was that healthy? It was causing such dis-ease in my whole being. I was not emotionally balanced at all. I was so, I'm going to say dark rather than light. And I just went, I still feel caged. That marriage I was still in it, not physically, but mentally. And that was the game changer for me. The light bulb went off. I met the man of my dreams, the love of my life, my now husband. And when I got in that relationship, I realized that I wasn't all in it emotionally. And the reason was because part of my emotions was still consumed in my past relationship. And I sat down one day and I went, shit, it's almost like having an affair. Because part of my emotions are still with another man. A man that I did not want to be emotionally connected with by any way, shape or form. So that was then when I discovered, and I went, oh my gosh, you still control me. The difference is I'm allowing it. I am allowing it. I am allowing my thoughts to be consumed, which then triggers my emotional attachment to it and be angry and all of that. And I thought, how can I live an amazing life when part of my emotions are still in the past? Ugh. No. And that is when I started this journey of doing vertical work and not only healing from all of that, but releasing it and throwing it out, getting rid of it, purging it. I've purged a lot. But it enabled me to no longer have an affair, in essence, emotional affair on my now husband. My whole emotional state, my heart, my thoughts were all for him. And that's what it's enabled us to really have the life that we have together. Because we've healed and released our past relationships and all the emotional attachment to them. And wished our partners the very best. There's no anger. There's not, well, I'll speak for me. There's no anger. There's nothing. I wish him the very best. And that's when you know that you've released all the emotional attachment to an event. And I'm not saying go as far as wishing him the very best. All you need to do is to identify that when you speak about that, there's no emotion that comes up with it or with that person that you speak about. That's when you know that you've truly healed. And why I'm going on about this is because that event or that person could be partly causing you lack of belief. Because I had no self-esteem, no self-worth when I left. I felt that was all stripped of me and taken. And then I come to the discovery that I allowed it. And it was up to me to rebuild. Don't give my power to someone else what they've said or feel about me. Don't give my power to the kids that bullied me as a child. Holy crap, they still had power over me. 30 years on. Probably 40 years on now. And I just went, what the? The light bulb went on, bing! And I went, thank you, but I'm taking my power back. What you thought, what you teased me about, whatever it was, and if it's your parents, the same applies. They did the best they knew how, and the kids at school, we don't know what they went through. Regardless, it is up to you to love you, to value you, to give you worth. If someone else has got your power, then it's time to take it back. And that is where you do the deep vertical work. Go back and visit your childhood. What past things are you still holding on to, or that you're still giving your power away to? There you go. Find them. Find them. They come in the form of whatever comes through your thoughts. If I ask you what happened to you as a kid, I'm going to go to the age of 7. Start there. See, even if it's bullying, it could be that you felt your folks were too busy, that they didn't have time for you. You felt invisible. You didn't feel heard. It's irrelevant. This isn't about them. It's all about you, how you felt as a child. Acknowledge that younger self. They're waiting. They're waiting. I hope that gives you a deeper insight. If you would like some more information on this or understanding around what I'm sharing with you today, because it is a different perspective. If you've gone to therapy, a lot of therapy doesn't cover or look at things from this perspective of your childhood. The way that I work is from a place of empowerment, not a place of disempowerment. I want to empower you to say, yeah, you know what, these things happened. We cannot change it. We cannot take it back. However, what we can do is take our own power back to the way we emotionally react to what you endured as a child, to the situations, the events, to the people that have emotionally impacted you. Take back your power. Take back management of self. I endeavor not to use the word control because I love the word manage. We should be able to manage ourselves. So if you feel someone else or an event or something else is managing you, decide to take back management. And if power is more aligned with you, if you've given your power to someone or something, decide today to take your power back. Because that is what's holding you back from your self-belief, your self-worth, and your self-love. Powerful message today, and I really hope that my perspective resonates with you, that you gain something even a little bit from today's message to assist you to move forward on your life's journey to becoming the best version of you. Remember, you matter. You matter. You are your most valuable asset, so invest in you every day. If you enjoyed today's video, please like the video, Subscribe to my channel and also click on the notifications bell so you'll be notified when I upload tomorrow's Cat's Message of the Day. For today, take care and namaste.